Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my performance review of the Anta KT 10. So Klay Thompson's 10th signature shoe with Anta. So congratulations to Klay Thompson on his 10th signature shoe. Not a lot of people can say that they've had 10 shoes with one company, right? So this is the Crossing Time colorway, and it retails for 130 bucks, but Famuji has it for 115 bucks, but it doesn't really account for shipping. So yeah, if you guys do want to cop, try to leave in the free link in the description box. And if you do choose to get the shoe, it does help me out if you buy it through the free link in the description box. And as always, thank you guys so much for all the support. But let's get it started right off with the traction. So the traction was the Achilles heel for this shoe for me personally, right? So we do have a fully translucent outsole, and there is another colorway, you know, on Anta, and it's like a black and white colorway, and that has a solid white rubber, right? So maybe that might be better, but yeah, this was not it, guys. So it's been super freaking dusty on the court, right? But there was a time where it was like a couple weeks ago where it was pretty humid and wet because, you know, it was raining, or not raining, it's like drizzling, right? But us in California, we call it raining because it never rains here, you know? But anyway, so I did have some really good times playing in this shoe when the court was really clean, right? So if you're playing on a clean court, it has a really freaking good stop. If you're doing a lateral movement, it has a great stop. If you're doing 45 degrees, it has a great stop. Also going forward, pretty dang good stop. Although it is a little bit inconsistent going forward for some reason, right? And also as far as the pattern goes, if you guys didn't know, it's inspired by a water ripple, which it looks pretty cool, I guess, right? I guess it does look like a water ripple, but you introduce a little bit of dust into the equation, then it gets really inconsistent, right? So yeah, once you do break it in and it gets a little bit better and better, it does improve, right? From the first time I got it, it was terrible, but then it got a little bit better, you know, it kept getting better, but still not great for dust performance, right? So again, light dust, you're gonna be sliding around a little bit, and it's okay once you wipe. It's a very easy wipe, which I did like, but the thing is, if I let too much dust build up on this outsole, it slides out really dangerously. You know what I mean? And it slides out more dangerously than the LeBron 21. The LeBron 21, I had some accidents. You know what I mean? Like I strained my Achilles, I strained my calf a little bit while playing the LeBron 21. So it was like inconsistent on dust. But the KT10 is a little bit worse than that, which kind of sucked, right? So you really need to keep up with your wipes. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's just on light dust. If you're playing on moderate dust, it does get a lot more dangerous, especially going forward. And that's the thing, right? So like when I was doing, you know, when you're running down the court, right, and also doing like pull-up jumpers, you're kind of going like this. You know what I mean? And it slides forward a lot for me personally. I don't know why. It slides like once I, you know, you can see in the video, like if I, you know, put contact into the ground, it still slides a little bit, you know, going forward. But the lateral movements, right, it stops pretty dang well, and then going 45 degrees in, like it stops pretty dang well. Like it still slides a little bit on like heavy dust, but it stops way better than just going forward. So I don't know what was wrong with the rubber compound, or maybe the pattern. It's just it was sliding out, and I really didn't like it, you know what I mean? Also like sliding, or when I was like doing pivots as well, it would slide pretty easily, which I didn't really like. Like when I was pivoting, it would slide a little bit like this, you know what I mean? So yeah, just if you're playing on a dusty court, definitely not the best. Like light dust, if you keep up with your wipes, you should be fine, but moderate to heavy dust is pretty dangerous for me, you know what I mean? So that sucks. Durability, I feel like, I don't know, the rubber is kind of pliable, you know what I mean? But the grooves are pretty thick and deep. And you have a lot of surface area, you got a lot of rubber, so I feel like it'll be okay, you know what I mean? Not terrible, but I feel like it'll be okay on outdoor court. So yeah, again, also if you do like squeak, this shoe is super freaking loud, like one of the loudest squeaks ever. Like for the past like year or two, like it's extremely freaking loud, extremely high pitched, and even if you do a little right, it's so loud. So if you like squeak, of course that has nothing to do with performance, but if you're a hooper that likes to have a squeak like me, this shoe has got you covered. The traction, very disappointing because it's been super dusty at my gyms, right? And now moving on to the heel to toe transition, it does feel pretty dang nice. So here in the heel, we do have a little bit of a rounded shape. Although it is caged, you still have a little bit of compression, and it doesn't feel really clunky at all here in the heel when you're doing heel dominant strides, which does feel nice. Coming into the forefoot, we also have a crazy curved shape, which of course, Klay Thompson is a shooter, and when you shoot, you kind of want to be a little bit more on your toes, which that definitely does help. But also just doing heel dominant strides with this kind of shape, it helps with a rocking motion, which feels great, right? And as far as the flex goes, it is able to flex, which is great, but also we have a little bit of rebound back, which does feel nice, you know what I mean? So it has a little bit of a springy feel. We also have a carbon fiber plate here as well, which is great, especially for only $130 retail. We get carbon fiber, that's pretty dang nice, right? And also for the $130 price tag, we get a really nice cushioning setup with full length N2 foam. But yeah, overall heel to toe transition extremely smooth when you're doing heel dominant strides on the court, and it has a little bit of springiness as well, especially when you're coming out of your first step. So there's that. And now moving on to the cushioning setup, like I mentioned before, we got full length N2 foam. So yeah, N2 foam is really nice, and I really enjoyed this setup, right? So as far as the overall court feel goes, it's pretty nice, right? I would say it's a little bit better than average. It's not comparing to like the Sabrina 2s or like the Jaws, you know, which have really good court feel. It's a little bit higher up off the ground than that, but still pretty nice here in the KT10, right? Also, overall impact protection is really good, you know what I mean? So first of all, as far as the insole goes, the insole is pretty nice, you know what I mean? Like it has a little bit of plushness to it, which does improve the stepping comfort, of course. But also underneath that, it's not a soft mesh struggle board like in the Kai 1, you know what I mean? But we do have a softer type of strobe board. It's actually not that glued down, and when you feel it with your finger, it's actually really soft, you know what I mean? So straight up, like the stepping comfort, when you first put the shoe on, you can easily feel the N2 foam right underneath the foot, right in the heel and also in the forefoot, but also underfoot cushion when you're kind of like you're starting to play a little bit, jog around and stuff. You can feel the plushness of the N2 foam, that little bit of compression right underneath your entire foot. Feels great. Also has a little bit of bounce as well. And also I really like how like the N2 foam is like, it's super soft, right? But then it's not too thick, you know what I mean? Like the Kai 1, it's thick, so you can feel a lot of that foam, and it feels kind of mushy, you know what I mean? Honestly, for me, it's nice, but still like a little bit too soft, I would say, for some people, right? But the KT10, the N2 foam seems thinner, so because of that, you can feel the N2 foam really well still. Has a nice little bounce and compression, but it's not too much. So it's a little bit more responsiveness. Also, although it is pretty caged here in the heel, and also like pretty much the entire cushioning setup, we still have a little bit of compression in the heel, which does feel nice, right? Especially with this kind of like slit. You know, it's exposing the foam a little bit. That allows the cushion to compress a little bit more. So yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed the setup, and I feel like most people enjoy it. I think it's a great kind of blend of responsiveness with like, you know, step and comfort and also impact protection. So there's the cushioning setup there. Moving on to the upper. So the upper quality definitely isn't great in my personal opinion. It's just like a mesh material with some synthetic overlays. It just feels a little cheap, especially in the toe box. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I mean? But on foot, it feels nice. You know, that's actually a really thin material and also very supportive. You know, it doesn't stretch at all. And it also, because we do have a pretty thick kind of like overlay here in the toe box and also around the eyelets, it adds for a little bit more like structural support and rigidity to the overall material and upper, which I think is a great thing. You know, that's a great design element. Also, we do have some ventilation holes, so actually airflow is pretty dang good through the toe box, right? So yeah, it feels nice on foot here. And also, even if you're doing a toe drag, you should be fine because we do have a pretty thick layer of synthetic material, like I said. And also here in the midfoot, it does stay pretty dang stiff, which does feel nice. And also we have some flywire cables. I mean, of course, flywire's Nike, but we have some cables here, and it's supposed to resemble a bridge, probably the Golden Gate Bridge, but you know, he doesn't play for the Warriors anymore. But anyways, that's a pretty cool design element. But also, it makes an X for the 10, which is pretty cool too, right? You know. So anyways, for the tongue, we have like an average amount of padding, not super plush, which kind of sucks. It's also a half booty construction tongue, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then here in the ankle area, it's not super well padded. I would say it's around average, but the padding actually feels pretty nice. It's like a really soft, like memory foam like, you know, padding, which feels great. So you can literally feel this the padding like on top, like on the top of the ankle collar right here, and it really wraps around the top, which feels great, right? So yeah, the overall material does feel really nice, supportive, thin, conforms to your foot very well. It's just not the best for yeah, the quality, right? So there's that. Moving on to the fit. So I went true to size. I went the exact same size that I went for literally all of the Anta shoes, like the Kai 1, the Kai 1 Speed, the Zap 2, the GH5, right? And all those shoes fit me extremely well, and also the KT10 fits extremely well for me, but I would say the KT10 fits the most snug. Like, it's such a snug fit. So literally, like for like my brand shoes, like the Young Hone, like the socks I've been playing in, right? It's a really nice fit, right? But for my other basketball socks, like Stance or the Nike Elite basketball socks, those are a little bit thicker than my socks, so it makes the fit a little bit more tight, right? So I would say, you know, if you don't like a super snug fit, maybe go up half a size, you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like most people, if you do go true to size, it's gonna be a really snug fit. So but again, like for me, I like to have a really snug fit, and it wasn't choking my foot out. It wasn't super uncomfortable. It's actually nice for me. So I was fine going true to size, right? So here in the toe box, like I said, extremely freaking snug. Like I can barely curl my toes up. My toes go very close to the edge of the shoe, and also it is a pretty narrow fit as well. So yeah. Again, so just be wary of that. And if you have a wide foot, definitely go up probably a full size because it's a really snug fit. So again, it's a nice snug fit for me, and I liked it. So there's that. Moving on to the support and lockdown. So for lateral containment, I was good to go, you know. So as far as the forefoot goes, we do have this synthetic material, and also I guess these cables a little bit. But overall, it's a really supportive material, right? It doesn't really allow your like toes to come out of the footbed, like your forefoot, which is good. Also here in the heel, we do have a crazy internal TPU heel counter, as well as the Anta logo, and this is a pretty like hard plastic material. So lateral containment, you're good to go. Even if you're a bigger dude, your foot is not going to come out of the footbed really at all. And also, like I said, the overall material, it has a really good structural rigidity to it too, unlike like, you know, like the Tatum 3, which is just really soft. This has a lot more structure to it. So yeah, my foot wasn't really moving inside of the shoe either. And also lateral stability is really good. We have a crazy wide outrigger, as you guys can see. It's a very, very sharp one. So lateral stability is good, and overall heel lockdown is really nice too, because it does have like the foam, it has like a nice cupping shape, you know what I mean? Like we have a good amount of foam on top of your heel like this, kind of like cupping in. So yeah, overall support and lockdown, really, really nice, and you're gonna be good to go even if you are a bigger dude. And also another thing that I really liked about the shoe is just like, it's just a really like kind of stiff shoe, you know what I mean? So sometimes I like that, sometimes I don't. It depends, you know what I mean? For example, like this shoe, the Wade Flash, you know, the amazing shoe, amazing guard shoe, but it's just a lot more flexible. Look at that. You know what I mean? So it's not like one's better than the other. It's just like a different feel. The KT10 just feels a lot more rigid as far as like the overall sole of the shoe goes, and also for the overall upper. It's just a really sturdy, supportive feeling shoe while still feeling pretty dang comfortable for the cushion, right? So there's that. Moving on to the weight of the shoe. So this shoe feels pretty dang nice as far as like the weight distribution goes. It doesn't feel super bottom heavy or anything like that. Also, it feels very minimal for the upper, right? So yeah, it comes in at 13 ounces, however, you know, and let's check the other shoe. Comes in at 13 ounces. So the average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. So it's just a tiny bit heavier than average, which it's not heavy, you know, it's average weight pretty much. And I feel like that has to do with probably like the extra plastic. I don't know, but it doesn't feel that heavy, and it also doesn't feel bulky at all. And when I was playing on a clean court, I had an amazing time playing in the shoe. You know what I mean? Like I love how stable this shoe feels. I love the cushioning setup. I love the overall support of the shoe as well, while still feeling pretty dang minimal for the upper. You know what I mean? But when I was playing on a dusty court, it was when it was not good. You know, like I just felt unsafe when I was playing in the KT10. So yeah, so there's a weight there. Moving on to the aesthetics, I really like it. You know, it grew on me a lot. I wouldn't say it's my favorite design, you know, especially like this year, or also even in like entire signature shoe line, but it's a pretty cool design. It's a like a simple, like a pretty simplistic design, I would say, while still having really cool elements with like, you know, where he's from, or where he used to play, I guess, and also with like the 10, you know, with the Roman numeral 10. So Yeah, tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yeah, so the KT10, I wanted to enjoy playing this, and again, I did enjoy playing this shoe, and I feel like, you know, if you're a guard, you will 100% enjoy playing this shoe. And also, I feel like even if you are bigger, you should enjoy playing the shoe as well. But if you're playing anywhere that's moderately dusty to very, very dirty, this is not, don't get these, you know what I mean? But or again, I haven't tried the solid rubber outsole options. Maybe they might be better. I haven't tried those. It's just, for me, I have the translucent, and again, like, it was kind of dangerous for me, and I didn't really like it. So that kind of sucks, you know what I mean? Because everything about the shoe is super duper nice. I really can't find a reason besides the dust performance for me to not like this shoe. So yeah, hopefully the solid's better, but yeah, it's kind of hard for me to recommend if you are playing on a dusty court. So anyways, that about concludes my performance review of the KT10. Again, if you guys do want to copy, try to leave the link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.